Welcome to the Author's Mindset Podcast. I'm Dan Padavona, your partner on this amazing journey to becoming a successful author. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button so you receive all my tips and motivation. And while you're at it, head over to my website at danpadavona.com. That's danpadavona.com, and click on my Advice for Authors blog for my latest tips and tricks and new techniques I'm using to advertise my author brand and generate higher earnings in my writing career. Once again, that's danpadavona.com. I generated $500,000 in Kindle sales and Kindle Unlimited page reads over the last 12 months and kept over $360,000 in profit, and that's after advertising, book cover designs, editing, and new equipment. I did it all as a self-published thriller and mystery writer, and I want to teach you to do the same. Today's topic should come as no surprise unless you have been living under a rock. You are well aware of Chat GPT and the big question facing not just authors, but all creatives. Will AI replace us all? Now, everybody's been talking about this. Joanna Penn on the Creative Penn podcast is probably the first to have talked about Chat GPT and the other AI technologies coming out, and she has been on this topic for years now. Chris Fox also jumped on it on his YouTube channel this week. So two pretty big heavy hitters are discussing this in the author community and what it means to us going forward. So let's get something straight right out of the bat. Chat GPT is extraordinary. This is amazing technology, and it's getting better and better as technology advances. It can generate full novels, which are at least decent and are only going to get better as, again, the technology continues to advance. Remember Moore's Law? The number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years, and this is what makes computers faster and faster, and yet more and more affordable. Same thing with your smartphones. All types of technology, anything that is using microchips is advancing with respect to Moore's Law. And Chat GPT and other AIs like Chat GPT are benefiting from Moore's Law and moving their technologies faster and faster into the future. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you may be panicking now if you're an author. After all, if any AI can produce a full novel, which is at least, as we described it earlier, decent, then what is exactly our future in this business? Is that really what the future of writing is? Of course not. Of course not. And the people who are panicking right now are the same ones who panic during just about any type of crisis. Keep your head on straight. Folks, this is a little bit scary because it's new, but I believe that ChatGPT is something which will end up benefiting creatives and authors like us rather than driving us out of business. But first, let's push back. Everybody so far has been on the side of, hey, ChatGPT is perfect. It's only going to get better. It can already make novels. It can already generate content. There is no room for writers left anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the book publishing business. We're all going the way of the dinosaurs. And I can tell you that somebody needs to be on the other side of this argument and to offer a counter opinion. So let's start right here. Okay, John Mueller, Google's search advocate, has already said that AI-generated content is against Google guidelines. Now, they use their own technology to find AI-generated content and eliminate it from their search results. In addition, if you paid attention to Google's helpful content update, which came out in August, by the way, if you read between the lines, it stated pretty clearly that Google will not rank AI content in their search engines. Google, believe it or not, and they have been the enemy of creators in the past, they are sticking up for humanity here, and they're saying, no, people don't want to read generated content from artificial intelligence. They want to read cogent thoughts, creative thoughts from real people. Imagine that. So Google is already on board. And can you think of a more powerful company in the world? I mean, please. Google is saying, as the masters over the search engine, which pretty much means that they run the internet, that they are not going to rank AI content. Now, it has gotten even worse for people who plan to release articles generated by AI. As soon as Google identifies this content, not only will they derank that content, but they will also derank that website. That's huge. Anybody who tries to push out AI content to Google is going to pay a very steep price, and you will not be ranked in the only search engine really that matters in the United States. Sorry, people who love Bing and all the others. Google is so far ahead in terms of market share that it isn't even worth discussing. All right, here's another thing to keep in mind. Google purchased their own AI platform back in 2014. As you can imagine, with all the money that is behind Google, estimates already suggest that Chat GPT is running 2 full years behind Google's AI. 2 full years? So to say that Chat GPT is 2 years behind Google is to say that they are light years behind Google. They are not playing on the same playing field. So there's no competition there. So we're only talking about the number one provider of search in the United States. What do you think about that huge retailer which sells our books, Amazon? What are they going to do about this? Well, I'm not inside Amazon, but I cannot imagine that they are going to have any different opinion of generated content, AI-generated content, than Google does. I mean, seriously, if Google doesn't even want a blog post to contaminate their search results, do you really think that Amazon is going to allow full books generated by AI to compete with Stephen King and James Patterson and J.K. Rowling? Of course they won't. Of course they won't. Who in their right mind is going to read a book generated by a computer? Come on. Come on, folks. Stop panicking. This is not the end of creativity. A noted marketing company that I follow, I'm not going to name names here, they recently tested Chat GPT, and they found that as far as recreating things that have already been created, Chat GPT does a pretty decent job at that. Once again, as we said, it's decent at generating full novels, and it's going to get better. However, when it came to actual creativity, boy, was it sorely lacking. I said before, I believe all these AI technologies will help creatives instead of hurting them. So I believe that the planning of books in the future is going to get a lot easier and a lot faster. These AI technologies are going to help you. They are not going to take your job. And that is all that I have to say about this subject. As we move together into the future, let's see things for what they can be and not fear things that we have no control over. And I don't believe that any of these AI technologies are in any way threatening our careers as creatives. Now, in the next episode, we're going to get into a study I've been working on regarding CTR, click-through rate, versus CVR, conversion rate, in Amazon AMS ads, and I think you'll find it fascinating. I've written about this in the past on my Advice for Authors blog. I did a more intensive study into the subject, and I can't wait to share it with you. And again, that's going to be in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor. Go to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you're listening to this podcast and give me a rating and a review. Positive reviews help other authors or anyone engaged in self-development find this podcast. And remember to head over to danpadavona.com, that's danpadavona.com, and check out my Advice for Authors blog. It's absolutely free. You can see what I'm working on now and what techniques I'm employing to grow my author business. And if you like those tips, you can apply them to your own career. Remember, the seeds of happiness flourish when you shine a positive light. So make someone smile today, and remember to stay amazing. Thank you for listening to the Author's Mindset Podcast.